And there's the record button, and away we go. Okay, remember quadratics, for some reason they love factoring. So remember, when this is 1, there's a 1 here, we just don't write it. But when that's 1, all we do is look at the, what's that? No. Goofus Maximus. Okay, all we do here, when the leading coefficient, can you imagine writing or speaking like this? When, in other words, when this number's a 1, we don't really have to do anything other than find the factors of negative 39 that combine together to give us positive 10. So we know that the largest number is going to be positive. So it's going to be negative 1 times 39. No, 2, 3. Negative 3 times 13. There it is there. Okay, so our factors are going to be G minus 3 times G plus 13. Does it make any difference which one comes first? No. It's just like 2 times 3 or 3 times 2. They're all going to be that. But what happens if this number, remember this is our A value. What happens if that is not 1? And this is what you're probably going to see. You may see one of these, 1 or maybe 2 of these on the final exam, but you definitely will see some of these where A, the numerical coefficient of the quadratic term, sorry, but if A is greater than 1, for instance, if we have 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. Remember, they all have to add up to 0. If there's a number over here, you need to bring it over here to make it into a 0. The first thing we do is, this is our A, this is our B, and this is our C. The first thing we do is we multiply A times C. 2 times 6. What is it? That's 26, right? 12. Yeah, I knew that. Now, what are the factors of 12 that add up to 7? 3 and 4, isn't it? 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. Now, which one do we want to, remember, we're going to factor this by grouping. We're going to group two of these things together. We have 2x squared. Now, what do we want to put next to the 2? Do we want to put 3? No, because 2 is not a factor of 3. But 4 is. 4 is a factor of 2. Plus 4x plus 3x plus 6. And remember, all we're doing here is we're taking that 7x and we're splitting it up into these two terms. Now we're going to group these together and group these together. Now, what can we factor out of this misery right here? We can factor 2 out, right? 2 will factor out of both of the constants. And we also have an x that we can factor out of there. So we're going to factor out 2x times x plus 2. Now I do this backwards also to make sure I'm right because I'm stupid. 2x times x is 2x squared, that's right. 2x times 2 is 4x, that's right. Plus, and we're going to factor out a 3 out of here. Not x, because this term back here does not have an x in it, but we can take a 3 out, and that's x plus 2 equals 0. Now remember, this and this must be the same. If they are not, something went wrong. So we have this plus this, so 2x plus 3 times x plus 2. We only use one of these, not both of them, equals 0. Everybody okay with this? Okay. Let's do another one. What could be more fun? Let's see. Excuse me. How about if I'm going too fast, please tell me. And I will send you a copy of this when we get finished. I'll try to send it tonight, but it takes a while for the thing to process. So it may not be till tomorrow morning. So what if we have this? 3a squared plus 10a plus 7 equals 0. Now remember, the first thing we do when our leading coefficient here, coefficient is just a number in front. When the leading coefficient is not 1, we multiply 3, we multiply a and c. A times c. So 3 times 7 is 21. Now what are the factors of 21 that add up to 10? It's going to be 3 and 7, right? 3 times 7. So we have 3a squared. Now which one do we want to put next to the 3? 3 or the 7? The 3, because they're factors of each other. Plus 3a plus 7a plus 7 equals 0. And again, we're going to do groupage. Group those together. Now what can we factor out of this misery here? 3a. In other words, when we say factor out, what is common? What is in both of these terms here? 3a times a plus, now 3a times what is 3a? 1. Don't forget you have to have that. Oh, before I forget, we're going to have a test. I want to say next Thursday. I think I could remember that, but too stupid. Where is my syllabus? Something like that. Next Thursday, and we'll review for the test on Tuesday, I think. And what can we factor out of this misery here? 7. Don't forget the plus. A plus 1 equals 0. A plus 1, A plus 1. So we're probably right. So we have 3a plus 7 times a plus 1. Now, if you did distributive property here, you would come back to equals 0. It would come back to that. If you want to do that, you go right ahead. But Johnny's not doing it. I missed my nap today because of y'all. And you take a drink. Now what? Okay. Hey, how is the sound on here? Does it, sometimes when you're listening to watching television, it sounds like people are in a barrel. Is this coming through okay? The sound?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, Professor.
Okay,
Sounds good.
good. Thank you. Be sure and tell me. I got a ton of money in speakers and microphones and all this misery. Really, I just like to buy the toys. I really don't care whether they work or not. 7b squared plus 8b plus 1 equals 0. Okay, again, we're going to multiply a times c, a, b, and c. So a times c is 7 times 1, which is 7. Now, what are the factors of 7 that add up to 8? Well, 7's a prime number. There's only two things that go into 7 evenly, and that's 1 and 7. So we have 7b squared, 1 times 7. Those are our factors. Now what are we going to put next to this? The 7. 7b plus b plus 1 equals 0. Okay, we're going to group these together. Group these together. Now what can we factor out of this misery here? 7b. And we get b plus 1. Do it backwards. 7b times b, 7b squared, that's right. 7b times 1 is 7b, that's right. Plus, now what can we factor out of here? Who knows?
1.
Excellent. Mr. Islam says 1. Yes. We have to have that. Open. B plus 1. Closed equals 0. And again, this and this are the same. So we have 7b plus 1 times b plus 1. And remember, we only use one of these. One of those factors there. We only use one of those. Everybody got it? Tell me now, I'm going to throw it away. That's what we say in North Katy. Throw it. We're going to throw it. I hate to be a hater, but I'm not liking these lined papers. Okay. All right, this is where it gets a little bit funky, but really not too bad. 15. Why is my big fat ugly hand in the way? Ooh, look how old my hand looks. Ooh. 15 c squared plus c minus 2 equals 0. Okay. Can y'all see that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Because on my screen here, I can't see it with a darn. We got too much light going on. Now again, A, B, and C. So A times C is 15 times negative 2, which is negative 30. Now what are the factors of negative 30? Let's do it on the calculator. It's not that we can't do it in our heads, but let's get used to using this, because what you're going to get on the final exam, you're going to get some some really big numbers. And it's going to be handy to have. The first thing we do is we go to y equals. If there's anything in there, clear it out. Can you all see that? Okay. So we want to put in negative 30. And remember, the negative key is this one down here, not the subtract key. So, excuse me, so we got negative 30 divided by x. Now x is the this one here says xt, theta, and n. Okay, look, you guys have big fat fingers, you ladies have long fingernails. Double check and make sure you've entered this right. And then arrow down and put negative 30 divided by x plus x. And what that will do is it will add the factors together. Now we go to the table. The table is right here in yellow. So if you have a TI 84, I think it's in blue. Does anybody have an 84?
Yeah, I do.
Is the second key blue?
Yeah, second is
Okay.
blue.
So you hit the blue, or in my case, the yellow, and graph, and that'll take you to the table. Now what we want to look for is we want to look for the positive 1. So we look over here in y2. Oh, there it is right there. Can you see the 1 right there? Can y'all see that? Okay, so what are our factors?
6 and negative 5.
Excellent. 6 and negative 5. 6 times negative 5. Right? because 6 minus 5 is 1. Now we want to split this up. We want to split this, the linear.
Can you bring your paper a little bit down?
I'm sorry?
Can you bring the paper a little bit down?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I wish I could say I'm going to do better, but I'm not. Who said that? Who said that?
I did.
Mr. Luna. Man, what a voice you got. You a singer?
Am I a singer?
Yeah.
I wish I was.
Yeah, man, you got a voice. My goodness.
I got a smoker's voice.
A smoker's voice. What have you been smoking, Mr. Luna?
Huh?
You know what I said. What you been smoking?
Yeah,
Uh-huh. And don't tell me Marlboro Light either.
I don't smoke cigarettes. Put it like that.
That's what I thought. Okay, we're going to split the linear term. That's the middle term. It's called the linear term. We're going to split that up into two factors. Now, which one do we want to put next to the 15? We can actually put either one of them, but let's put the 5 in there, the negative 5. So we have 15c squared minus 5c plus 6c minus 2. Okay, now we're going to do some groupage here. Equals 0. The equal 0 thing's not super duper whiz bang important right now. Now, what can we factor out of these two terms here? Looks like 5c. And you get 3c. What is that? Minus 1? Is that right? 5c times 3c, 15c squared. 5c times negative 1 is negative 5c. We're right. Plus, now what can we factor out of here? 2. 3c minus 1 equals 0. 3c minus 1, 3c minus 1, we're probably correct. Don't forget to do this because this is how you double check yourself to make sure you have it right. So we have 5c plus 2 times 3c minus 1 equals 0. Okay? Everybody okay with this? I'd like to tell you it's going away, but it's not. Now let's drink. Well, I heard two women talking this morning as I'm walking into class this morning, and one of them said, "I just hate math class. They talk so fast, you just can't understand what they're saying." I know exactly what they're saying because I was that way too. Couldn't keep up. Oh, that's good. Okay, now what? 8d squared minus 14d plus 3 equals 0. Okay, the first thing we do is a times c, a, c, 8 times 3 is 24. Who's texting me? Do we have a WebEx meeting today?
So is there like a formula to do this?
Which one? This?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. First, we want the factors of 24. Wait, let me answer her because we want to reply. Yes. Okay. Okay, does everybody see what we're doing here? Okay, we'll do 8 times 3 is 24. Now we want the factors of 24. Now look, the linear term is negative. So it's going to be -1 times -24? No. -2 times negative, what is that, 12? 12? Yes. Y'all want to see it on the calculator again? Anybody?
I do.
Okay.
I need to watch it again.
Okay. Yeah, me too. After summer, I got to relearn this thing all over again. I got to thrash around in here. So the first thing to do is turn it on. I can't tell you how many times I've taken this calculator and look up here, forgot to turn it on. Stupid boy. Turn it on. Go to y equals. And then we do, now we want 24, the factors of 24. So we do 24 divided by x divided by x. And arrow down, same thing, 24 divided by x plus x. Now what that does is it adds the factors together. Now remember, you're going to have to think a little bit here. The middle term is negative, so that means both of these terms have to be negative. Now we go to the table. That's second. And that one. And you look under y sub 2, and what we want is -14. There it is. That says -14, so it's, I can't read it. -2 and negative, our factors are -2 and -12. Okay? Okay. I think I sent you a sheet on this. Did y'all get that? How to do this, but when you look at it, you think, what the hell is that boy saying? It doesn't make any sense at all. But when you do it a time or two, it's really pretty simple. So what do we want to put next to the, remember, now what we're going to do is we're going to split the -14 up into these two. Which one do we want to put? Let's put the 2 next to the 8, because 3 and -12 are factors. But here it really doesn't make a lot of difference. So we have 8d squared. Now I've already forgotten. Minus 2d. Okay, we're going to split this term, the linear term, we're going to split up into -2d and -12d. Plus 3 equals 0. This is a d here. Okay, we're going to group these together. And there's a plus in here. Now, what can we factor out of this? Looks like 2d times 4d minus 1. Now, what can we factor out of here? A -3. Open. 4d minus 1. And do it backwards. -3 times 4d is -12d. -3 times -1 is a positive 3. That's correct. So we have 2d minus 3 times 4d minus 1 equals 0. Okay. The only thing you have to do here is pay attention to these godless negative numbers. And pay attention to where the negative is going to go, because remember, this and this have to be the same. Okay. Now the difference, let me shift gears here a little bit. D-I-F-F-E-R-E-N-C. Difference of squares. I think we talked about this the other day. The difference of squares These are called conjugates. The word's not particularly important, but what we're doing is fairly important. You're going to run into more and more of this as the semester goes on. If we have x plus 3 times x minus 3. Same numbers in both of them. The only is one of them's a positive and the other one's a negative. This is called a conjugate. Now what's going to happen is the linear term, the middle term, is going to be eliminated. Okay, we do distributive property. X times x is x squared. X times negative 3 is negative 3x. Now we do the same thing with the 3. 3 times x is positive 3x. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. 3x minus 3x is 0. It's eliminated. Any number minus itself is 0. So this is going to equal x squared minus 9. Okay? Be sure you think about this. We're going to run into more and more of this as the semester goes by. Each one of these is a square. And it's the difference of. Now, what if we have this? A squared minus 16. What do we have here? A conjugate. A nice, pretty conjugate. They're both squares, perfect squares. And it's the difference of. Difference means to subtract, of course. So this is a plus 4 times a minus 4. B squared minus 36. Is this a conjugate? Yes. They're both squares, perfect squares, and it's the difference. So when we factor this, it's going to be b plus 6 times b minus 6. X squared minus y squared. Is this a conjugate? Yes. It's the difference, and both of these are perfect squares. This is x plus y, x minus y. Hey, how's your college class going? Don't everybody answer at once.
Oh, it's fine. We
They
have a
going
lot
okay?
of homework though.
Okay. Very good. Okay. 16c squared minus 25. Are these two perfect squares? And is it? Is it? Yes. It's the difference of. This is a perfect square here, and this is a perfect square. What is the square root of this? 4c plus 5 and 4c minus 5. Tell you what, let's do. Let's take a minute and talk about square roots. Well, let me kind of back up. 8 squared is 64, right? Means 8 times 8. Now it seems like everything we do in math, we do frontwards and backwards. So what is the square root of 64? Now square root, this is called the index here, and it's a 2. We just don't write it because we don't have to. If it's something other than 2, then we have to write it in there. But what does this mean? What number times itself? What number times itself is 64? Ana Luisa, what's your last name? Miss Cedillo, are you
Yes.
there?
Yes, I am.
That's a beautiful name. Is it Ana Luisa? Is that right?
Yeah, it is.
Beautiful name.
Thank you.
What number times itself is 64?
Is it 8?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
What number times itself is 64?
Is it 8?
8. Good. But it's not just 8. It's plus or minus 8.
Mhm.
Because a negative 8 times a negative 8 is also 64. Right? Right.
Right.
And that's the way we write that, plus or minus. And the square root of 100 is Mr. Jimenez? Can you hear me?
Ten.
Mr. Zaroli? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
What number times itself? In other words, the square root of 100 is what?
Is it plus or minus 10?
Excellent. Plus or minus 10. I'm not going to count this wrong if you don't put the plus or minus on there. At some point, this will be important, but right now it's not. So where did we end up? Okay, that one. 4c squared. 4d squared minus 25d. Whose turn is it? Mr. Luna. Is this a conjugate?
My screens are blurry. I can't even see
Oh
that.
man, don't give me that. Yes. Okay.
What it say?
Can y'all see this okay? Is it out of focus? Let me see if I can. Oh wait, move the stage. Maybe that's it. Well, it looks okay where I'm seeing. That doesn't mean that it is, but okay. What we have here, wait a minute, this is wrong. 4d squared minus 25a squared. If it's out of focus, tell me, because I do have a focusing thing on here, but that
It
should
looks
be.
fine now.
Is this a conjugate?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Both of these things are perfect squares, and it's the difference of. So what's the square root of 4?
2.
2. Square root of d squared? D. Plus 5a. And 2d minus 5a. Okay, I'm going to do this to you on the test. What about this? Whose turn is it? Miss Leon, can you hear me?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Leon is my second last name. But it's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Caballero?
Yes.
Caballeros?
Yeah, caballero. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
What if we have this? C squared plus 16. Is this a conjugate?
Yes, it is.
No. Remember,
No.
it has to be the difference of. I'm going to put one of these on the test. When it's Positive.
So only when it's a minus. That's when it's
Exactly.
positive.
Only when it, did you hear what Mr. Luna said? Only when it's,
Yes.
when this is negative. When it's positive, the answer here is prime. In other words, it cannot be factored. Okay? I'm going to irritate you with this from time to time. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, I've just got a few more little things here, and then I'll let y'all go. If you want to stay on, you can go right ahead. But I got a date, and she's good looking. Okay. Now, I think I sent you a sheet on this also. The squares and cubes of numbers. I thought I had one. Okay, if we have the number 2 squared and cubed, this is x. 2 squared is 4. 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. 3 squared is 9. 3 cubed is 27. Okay, like I said, I think I sent you a sheet on this with all the numbers up to, I think 10 or something, not a whole lot of them. But if you want to take the cube root of something, you can do that on your calculator. It has a function for that. And 4 is 16. 4 times 4, 16. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. And 5 is 25 and 125. Okay. So now if we want to go backwards from that, if we want the cube root of 27, in other words, what number times itself is the cube root of 27? What number times itself 3 times is 27? Is it plus or minus 3? No, just positive here. And the cube root of 125 is 5. And again, you can do that on your calculator. This little calculator is much, much easier to use. It's right here. See where it says X and the square root symbol. So what you do is, first of all, you turn it on. And we want to take the cube root, which is the 3 cube root of, let's say 125. And that's going to be 5. Okay? If you don't have one of these, I would get one. They're very easy to use. They're about $10 or $12. Texas Instruments has one also that's very inexpensive. Okay. This is called the sum of cubes. So if we have this is the formula. Did I send you one of these too? X cubed plus y cubed. This is the sum of. We're adding these together, and these are cubes. And here's the formula for that. It's x plus, this is going to look horrible. When you look at it, you think, holy crap, I can't do this. It's really very simple. I promise you it really is. Once you do a couple of them, you think, that boy's stupid. Times x squared minus xy plus y squared. Okay, the sum of everything in here is positive except the linear term here is negative. So if we have this, if we have a cubed plus 27, how are we going to factor this? So our x cubed is a cubed. Our y cubed is 27. So if x cubed is a cubed, what is x? Whose turn is it? Miss Caballero, you just went. Mr. Islam,
Yes.
what would our x be? If x cubed is a cubed, then what is x?
Would it be A?
Excellent. A. It's the cube root of this. And if y cubed is 27, then what is y?
3.
Good, 3. As far as I'm concerned, that's the most difficult part of this, is figuring that misery out. But if you break it down into like this, now all we have to do is plug in the numbers. X plus y. So what's our x? A. What's our y? 3. X squared is a squared. Remember, x is, where is it? Oh, here it is. I'm stupid. X is a. So we put, wherever there's an x, we're going to put an a. So a squared minus xy, 3a, or a3, but we typically write it like this, plus, and what is our y squared? That if you're so smart.
9.
Excellent. Who said that? Ms. Caballero, did you just say that?
Yeah.
Excellent. Plus 9. Because the formula says y squared. Y is 3, so y squared is 9. See, that's really not so bad, is it? Okay, that's the sum of cubes. Now, there's also a difference of cubes, and the formula is almost identical. Let's see. Let me see if I can find an easier one. No. 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 Hmm. Hmm. Okay, let's do this one. Let's do b cubed plus 125. Whose turn is it? Miss Hardy, can you hear me? No. Miss Cedillo?
Yes.
Okay, this is the sum. Sum means add. This is the sum of cubes. Both of these things are cubes. So we're going to use this formula right here. X cubed plus y cubed equals x plus y times x squared minus xy plus y squared. Okay, so this is our x cubed, and this is our y cubed. Now, if x cubed is b cubed, how much is x?
B.
Too good. Our x is b,
All right.
right? Because we're taking the cube root of both of these. And what's our y?
5.
Excellent. Now it's just a matter of plugging these numbers in. What's our x?
That's B.
Good. Plus.
5.
Good. X squared.
B squared.
Good. B squared minus XY.
B5.
Okay, B5, but we typically write it 5B. Doesn't make really any difference, but 5B plus, and what's Y squared?
25.
Excellent. That's all there is to it. Okay? And these problems, they get a little bit longer, but they really don't get any more difficult. Get this if you're so smart. Mm-hmm. 64A cubed plus 27. Whose turn is it? Mr. Jimenez? Okay, this is the sum. Mr. Jimenez, can you hear me? Mr. Zaroli?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the sum of both of everything in here is a perfect cube. And we're adding, so this is the sum of cubes. So x cubed plus y cubed equals x plus y, x squared minus xy plus y squared. Okay, so if x cubed, that one's x cubed, this one's y cubed. So if x cubed is this, and what does x equal?
4A.
Too good, excellent. And what's our y?
3.
Good. Now, wherever there's an x, we're going to plug in 4a. Wherever there's a y, we're going to plug in 3. And what's our x? 4a.
4A.
Good, plus
3.
good. And x squared. Now, this is where you have to pay attention.
16A squared.
Too good, excellent. 16, because we got to square everything in here. 16a squared minus xy.
12A.
Too good. Man, I'd have bet you money y'all wouldn't have gotten this one. Yeah. This is x times y. X times y, so that's going to be 12a, right? Am I right there?
Yeah.
Okay, and y squared is?
Plus 9.
Excellent. Anything else we can do there?
No.
Nope. Very good. Who was that, Mr. Zaroli?
Yeah.
Excellent job.
My high school teacher taught us a song to do this.
I'm sorry, say that again.
My high school teacher taught us a song to do this.
Really? Good. Well, just about everything in this course you hopefully have had before for the first month or two anyway. Okay. All right, that's all of that. Now, the difference of cubes. F-F-E-R-D-N-S. Difference. Difference of cubes. Now, the difference of cubes is x cubed minus y cubed equals x minus y, just like this, times x squared plus xy plus y squared. Okay, whose turn is it? Mr. Luna, can you see this okay? Luna's passed out somewhere. Mr. Luna, wake up! Mr. Zaroli, reach over there and smack him in the head. He's gone to the bathroom.
Sorry, I just got back.
Where were you? Smoking again? Were you out in the backyard?
I don't gotta go for that to the backyard for that.
Okay. Difference of cubes. If we have m cubed minus 8. Okay, if m cubed, I'm sorry, if x cubed is m, then what does x equal? They're laughing at you, Luna.
Oh shit! I didn't even know this.
Smack her. Don't take that off of her. Okay, if x cubed is m cubed, then what does x equal? Mr. Leonard, did you fall asleep again?
I don't know it. I don't know.
If x cubed is m cubed, then x is m, cube root. And if y cubed is 9, then what does y equal? 2, right? The cube root of 8. Now all we do is we plug these letters and numbers into this formula. What is our x? X,
It's M
m, good. Minus y, what is y?
2
Good. X squared,
M
m squared, plus xy,
2M
good. Plus, what's y squared?
4.
Excellent. Okay, that's all there is to it. Like I said, the most difficult part of this is figuring out what's x and what's y and then just plugging in the numbers. Okay, what about this? Whose turn is it? Miss Caballero. My ex-wife call you Caballeros.
That's fine.
Put the S on the end of
I'm used
everything.
to it.
8 Caballeros a la 3 menos 27. I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds Spanish, so didn't it? So if this is our x cubed and this is our y cubed, what is x? Get that if you're so smart.
2C.
Too good. Excellent. We're going to take the cube root of all this misery here. So that is 2c. That's our x. And our y is
Minus, oh, 3. Sorry.
3. Good.
Just 3.
Just 3. Now, our formula is x minus y, x squared plus xy plus y squared. So what's our x?
It would be 2C
Good.
minus 3.
Y. Good. Slow down. I'm stupid. X squared.
X squared would be 4C.
Too
squared.
good. Excellent. It's x squared. You have to square this whole thing. So we get, now I've already forgotten, 4c squared?
Yeah.
I knew that.
4C squared.
Plus what?
6C.
I'm sorry, plus what?
6C.
Too good. Excellent. Remember, this is x times y. 2c times 3 is 6c. And y squared is?
Plus 9.
Excellent. This is where you have to really pay attention when there's numbers and letters in there. Who's next? Mr. Islam?
Yeah.
This one, if you're so smart. Islam cubed minus 1. Is 1 a perfect cube? What number times itself 3 times is 1?
1.
Too good. Excellent. 1. So this is our x cubed. This is our y cubed. So if x cubed is I cubed, then what is x equal?
I.
Good. And if y cubed is is 1, excuse me, is 1, then what is y?
1.
Also 1. Very good. Okay, so we have x minus y, x squared plus xy plus y squared. Okay, what's our x?
I
Good. Minus y.
minus 1.
Good. X squared.
I squared.
Good. Plus
1. Oh, I.
y or just I. You can put the 1 there, doesn't mean anything. Plus, and what's y squared?
1.
Good. Hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. This is really easy, isn't it? Anybody want any more of these? Pretty good stuff, huh? Okay. All right, I'll send you a copy of this. And anybody have any questions? Okay.
For the exam on next Thursday, will that be in class?
No, it'll be on D2L,
Okay.
unless you don't want it on D2L.
Oh, no.
If you don't want it on D2L, I can email it to you,
I don't know the
You
details.
can email
I
it
was
back.
wondering.
because D2Ls are a pain in the ass like you wouldn't believe to do. I put every one of those, and I'm lazy too. Okay, everybody okay?
Yes.
Remember, let me review just a couple of things. Square root of 144. Remember, what is this meaning? There's the index here is 2. We just don't write it. What number times itself? What number times itself is 144 plus or minus 12? Right? Right. And the cube root of 64, what number times itself 3 times? Is 64? It's just 4, not plus or minus. Okay? That's important. But hallelujah, we have these calculators that'll do this for us. All right, y'all take care. I'll see you Thursday.
Bye. See you Thursday.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Professor.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
nice day.
There's no charge for tonight's lesson.